What is good, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited to have you back. It is another budget day, so I am super excited to be getting started with you guys, right? And again, continuing on to this journey. Last week, the week before, we worked on the bi-weekly budget, right, for our what I considered our second paycheck in January, and this one would be paycheck number 3. Again, on a bi-weekly pay schedule. So let's just review again where we were at last week. So if you guys didn't see the video before, last week was definitely, I keep saying last week, y'all, forgive me. Last pay period, right? Last paycheck was really challenging. We had a lot more expenses that were due and not a lot of income to cover it. But if you recall, we were trusting, right, and believing and depending on God that He would, in fact, supply all of our needs according to His word, right? I professed it at the beginning of the year that we would not see another broke day, right? And even though it doesn't look like it, again, I still truly believe we will not receive another one and haven't since then. But let's recap, right? So again, there were tons of things that, we were past due on. I had to move a couple of things to the pay period. But we serve a God, right? A mighty God, a great God. And in our diligence and in our faith, we actually did have a very nice blessing come up that was that we were able to cover a few of these expenses that I was worried about. We still were able to get groceries and food. And my husband picked up another full-time job in addition to his gig, and then I picked up a part-time one. So hoping that that would help us, right? Prayerful that that helps us get back to a good place. So with that being said, again, these were the outstanding items. I'll move these over to see if any of these still need to be covered for this pay period. And then we'll be able to include my husband's new income. What I'm not including is my part-time income because one, I've only worked about 2 days. And secondly, I literally do not know when I'm supposed to get paid. But whatever. We will move forward. All right. See, I know how I do, right? I gotta turn this all sideways and crazy in order to write. Using blue again today, red for anything that is essentially past due. And I've got black just in case I need it. So this pay period is from 1/27 through 2/19. Right? I always like to date that so we can be prepared. The expected income, y'all. $10. Right? Can you see? Zoom in a little bit. There we go. All right, and the bills that we have expected. I want to total this out, right? Makes it nice and obvious. All right. I did have an overdrawn account, but this was a previous one that I am now going to cover in this pay period. Consumers, if you remember, they were past due on the last pay period. I did work out an arrangement with them, so It now reports as current. Progressive was one that I didn't think I was going to be able to pay last pay period. I did pay. It's due again today, but it's still essentially a payment behind. So we'll just continue to pay them as we need here. I was able to work out a couple subscriptions that we were able to cancel. Still working on changing of all the bills, and y'all know what we do. We take our income, $22.75, and we subtract our bills in order to get what we have available for expenses. Oh yeah. This is the negative amount, right? So we know we'll have to do, again, some adjustments this pay period in order to get through. All right, let's check our adjustments over here. So this was covered, this was covered, this was covered, and this was expensed. So the $78 from YMCA, that's included in the budget already, and there was a fee associated with that, so that $88, so we got that covered. So we can move that over, right? We can discard this, and we'll just move over another one. And then again, what are we moving to the next period? Y'all, I'm just looking for a calendar. Here we go. So the pay period after this one would be the 10th through the 23rd. So we're gonna go 210 to 223. And AT&T, I'm gonna move that one over. So that gives us 290 here. And then the rent portion, we're gonna split in half. So we're gonna split it up. So we've already talked to him and made arrangements for that. So I'm gonna cover 250, and then the other 800 we will move over. Everything else should be good. Again, I am gonna work real hard on these subscriptions, y'all. Y'all pray, 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 pray without ceasing. Pray without ceasing. So this total over here is 1,090. Okay, and then what we can do is add our adjustment to this 87, which should give us 1,001 somewhere in there. $1,003 that we now have available. Okay, And then because this is bi-weekly, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this 1,003 and I'm gonna split it in half. So I've got 1,003, I'm gonna divide that by 2. So it's about $501 a week that we have to use, okay? And I'm just gonna notate that here so that I know. Okay. Now, again, we can get into these expenses that we need to cover every week. Excited that it's a little more than it usually is. But again, we are expecting great things. So, yes, honey, listen. As soon as I budget for it to go down, it goes back up. So, I have my calculator over here too, so I can keep track. We are up, especially, you know, with everybody working crazy, we are up to about $85 a week in gas. Groceries, I'm gonna budget $300 for. And then household, I have to buy like detergent and stuff. I'm gonna spend $40. And then laundry, because it is piling, is gonna end up being about $50. And then leftover, we have $26. And honestly, I'm gonna put it in the savings, but more than likely I will add it to groceries, just because they've like quadrupled recently. That is my intent and goal, but more than likely I'm just gonna do that. Yeah, I'm just gonna make this $325 and make this $1. Okay, a little bit of savings is better than none. All right, but that does zero everything out for us. And what I'll do is I'll do a check-in, right? So I'll do a check-in, a weekly check-in, to see how things are going, where we're at, where we've landed. And then come back, right? And then I'll also be able to update, you know, that part-time income that I'm receiving now too. But for essentially this pay cycle, right, for this pay period, this is what we're looking at. Right, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, where we're at right now, this is temporary. We will continue to be faithful to our tithes and to our offering, continue to trust God that he will provide. But in the meantime, we will work, right? Faith without works is dead. So we will continue to work towards getting out of this slump that we are in. So until next time, peace out. Please like, comment, and subscribe.